everybody. This is Scotty Milas. Welcome back to Rapid Fire Q&A. It's been a long year. With me, I have Wendi Hill, who is president and founder of Market Momentum. I'm sure you, if you've been following me, you certainly have seen Wendi before. I think we're going on 6 or 7 years together now, working together. It's got to be pretty close, but anyway, rapid fire is about questions and that we've received from social media, whether it's websites, Instagram, pretty much anything. Questions come in. So Wendi's going to be the moderator. I'll answer some questions, and then we'll go from there. Wendi, it's all yours.
Great. So I have 7 questions for you today. And the first one is, where have you been with regards to the podcast and rapid fire FAQ?
Wendi, thanks for asking that. And I know that question has been asked quite a bit. One of the things that I've always respected about business owners and people that own their own business is that sometimes you need to know when to kind of step back. So back in February, March of 2024, I think it was, I had some decisions to make in regards to ScottMilasFranchiseCoach.com because I had been starting to communicate with a very, very good friend of mine, Mark Schruman, who was president and founder of theperfectfranchise.com. So I had to make some decisions on transferring some of the assets, the business profile that I had, marketing, if I was going to join TPF, and I did. And in order to do so, I needed to kind of take a step back, rebrand myself, get myself re-educated on some certain things. But more importantly, I also needed a timeout for myself. And I know some of you know that I refer to my wife as Princess E. So we moved, relocated from Western Mass up to New Hampshire to be closer to family. So, but now we're back, and I'm pretty excited. And we'll be relaunching the podcast this fall. We're right now looking to book guests. So that's it. It was really just more of a personal choice. I was still active, still consulting, still helping people out, but the visibility, I just took a step back. That's all.
I think that's the good thing. When you're a business owner, you can make those decisions.
Yeah, I didn't have to walk down the hall and ask the HR director if I could take some time off. So, and it wasn't even time off. It was, just taking a step back. That's all.
Well, good. So the next one is for someone wanting to start looking at franchising. What's the very first step they should take?
This is a common question, and actually a common question when I start have my intro calls with clients. But the first thing is that you have to prepare yourself and to want to learn, to educate yourself. Franchising is not complex, but there are factors involved in owning a franchise that you have to familiarize yourself with. And also you have to educate yourself on the different steps. And one of the biggest things I think that people just really don't realize is dealing with the fear factor and anxiety. This is a life-changing event if you're going to invest in a business, whether you're doing it as a semi-absentee or stepping away from corporate entirely. So educating yourself, speaking with someone a consultant coach like myself, or someone you feel comfortable with, but getting yourself educated, I think, is the first thing, and preparing yourself to want to learn is the best first step.
Okay, great. So now let's shift to someone who's thinking long term. How can a franchise fit into a bigger wealth building or lifestyle plan?
Well, this is the beauty of working with somebody like myself or a consultant coach, building that roadmap, that business model. It's not about just going out, writing a check for a franchise fee and starting a business. There needs to be a planned roadmap. Whether it's strategically wanting to build a legacy, multiple units, multiple territories, diversify multiple different types of opportunities. But you have to have that plan, that roadmap, that business model. Most good franchise brands are looking for the legacy builders, that executive person who's looking not just for one territory or one unit, or retail location. They're looking for someone to be empire builders. And that's typically what, your goal should be if you're looking at franchises. If you're looking to buy a job, this probably shouldn't be the direction you go in.
Okay, that makes sense. So how can talking with current franchisees help a potential franchisee discover what's really working to grow the business?
Validation, validation, validation. And when I mentioned kind of affiliating myself and moving and partnering with TPF, the perfect franchise, this is a major focus for us. It had been with ScottMilasFranchiseCoach.com, but it's even more of a focus with TPF. We believe that validation is really the key to making a decision, yes or no. So talking to franchisees within the system, people that have been there for maybe a long time or a short time, but also talking to people or asking, can I speak to people that have a similar background to me? I spoke to somebody this morning that asked me the same question, ironically, and they were in IT. So I said, well, maybe you would want to talk to people who came out of IT that were involved with this franchise and see how they're doing. If there's nobody involved in IT, maybe something close to IT. So you want to validate with franchisees. Franchisors, brands have a validation process, but you do want to step outside the box a little bit and talk directly with franchisees and potentially people that have been in the business for a couple of years, few years, and people maybe that have been in it for 96 months. There are a lot of aspects you want to find out. It's not all about the money, but it's about the training and the support and the things the brand tells you they're going to do. Do they actually do it?
Okay, great, great. And I have to apologize. We have a tree company outside and they keep mulching trees as
And
we're,
we have franchises for that.
and maybe they wouldn't do it while my phones are here. So, the next one is, how can a buyer tell if a franchise has strong brand momentum in their market?
um, this is a catch-22 question, and there are clients that I speak to that are concerned that there are too many franchisees in their general area. Remember, franchises are broken out into territories or exclusive territories. If you're retail, if you're a service based, it's based on mileage or zip codes. Um, I am a firm believer that having other franchisees in your not directly in your DMA, but around you is a plus because it gives you brand identity. You could do co-marketing. You could be part of a co-op. If you're going to be the first one in the state or area, again, your marketing is going to have to be a little bit stronger. So I just think brand identity based on the number of franchisees in the state and everything is very important. And I think as a coach, it's very important for me to be very transparent and say, look, you're the first person that's going to be in Southwest Florida or Northern Florida or, in the Charlotte area. So again, those are things that we like to discuss in our consultation and brand presentation when we present opportunities.
Okay, that's great. I think people want that transparency and want to know up front.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And again, the other thing is that at least, on my plate and at TPF, we're doing territory checks and speaking with the brands before presenting to make sure that they're comfortable to go in the areas that we're presenting to our clients and talking with our clients. We're not going to ask our clients to relocate, spend 2 hours in a car to get to a location or a territory.
Right.
We want people within that 30-minute, timeline to get to a territory or a physical location.
Okay. So, next to the last question, what makes a brand's training program effective for first-time business owners?
Um, I think the first thing that people have to realize is that you have to pass training to be able to open up your franchise.
Uh,
So you're awarded a franchise, you've paid your franchise fee, you signed your agreements, and now you got to go to training. You have to qualify, you have to pass training. The Federal Trade Commission guidelines are pretty strong on brands making sure that someone is qualified or trained to be able to open their doors or start in a territory. So training is very important. Training can take sometimes 45, 60 days. I know brands that take longer. Keep in mind that if you're going and you're opening a retail type business, it's probably 9 months to a year and a half before you're physically going to be open. So you want to stage your training because you certainly don't want to forget about everything when you are getting ready to open. And a lot of brands also offer what they call in-store or in-territory training. So not only are they training you at their location, but they're going to then come out and help you in your territory or in your store for a week or 10 days. So again, the FDD, the franchise disclosure document, franchise agreement, will also state all that as far as the training requirements to get opened.
Okay. Okay. Now, here's our last question. What makes a franchise concept more recession resilient than others?
You know, it's a big question today because of the uncertainty. I mean, that recession question always comes up, and as much as we've been talking about it the last couple of years, it still hasn't happened. I'm a believer in needs versus wants. I think that has a tendency to be recession resistant. Um, uh, People who have needs, things that are reoccurring revenue, tend to be recession resistant. So that's another factor: reoccurring revenue, maybe multiple revenue streams within your business. If
Okay.
you're, kind of a one and done opportunity, that may not be recession resistant. So again, I really just pinpoint it by saying needs over wants.
Okay.
The needs always stay in focus. The wants are what people really kind of cut back when the economy starts to dip a little bit.
So, can you give me or give the audience an example of a type of franchise that would have multiple revenue streams?
A lot of your home service-based businesses now, whether you're into roofing, gutters, power washing, whatever it may be, a lot of those brands today have multiple revenue streams. So that if you get done, if you were just doing a roof and you put the roof on and you don't have any other multiple revenue streams, well, the chances of seeing that person again in your lifetime, or business lifetime, I should say, is probably slim to none, unless, of course, something happens to the roof, God forbid. But if you offer gutter cleaning or power washing along with adding a roof, then to me, that's reoccurring revenue. You have other, not reoccurring revenue, but you have different revenue streams that you can now offer that client.
Right.
People have a tendency to get their gutters cleaned, twice a year, or power washing their house once or twice a year. So again, it gets you back to see the client.
Right. Right. I've received postcards about holiday lights from
Yes,
roofing.
yes, that's become very big in home services.
Right.
It's an add-on to a lot of brands. So there are a number of different service-based businesses that have added that on.
Well, that's all the questions I have. I know there'll be more. They're always
Yeah, thanks. This is great. It's great to be back in the hot seat, I guess I call it. Just a couple other things. As I mentioned, we will be releasing some new, relaunching the podcast this fall, All Things Considered Franchising. For those of you who want to review or take a listen to over the 100 episodes we currently have, just go to allthingsconsideredfranchising.com. And of course, any of the podcast streams, we're up there running as well. We are taking requests for people that are interested in being on the podcast. We're looking for franchisees, people that already own businesses, franchises. And of course, if you have any services tied to the franchising industry, we'll consider that as well. And of course, brands directly, we're looking for that. So you can reach me at Scotty at theperfectfranchise.com or Scott at scottmilasfranchisecoach.com. You can check out both websites, theperfectfranchise.com for a comprehensive overview or a consultation process. And of course, scottmilasfranchisecoach.com has some great information about franchising as well. And of course, Wendi Hill at Market Momentum. If you ever need marketing services, I certainly would recommend that you reach out to her.
Thank
That's
you.
about it. Thanks very much, folks. We will catch you on the rebound. See you later. Bye-bye.